In a blink, the high-speed action of Athletes Unlimited has arrived at the midway mark. Two familiar captains are way up high on the leaderboard. The names of Puzo and Marino, fixtures for years. Today, Allie Kennedy and Charlotte North step into the captain's spotlight for the first time. And Kennedy's first challenge is to strike against her best friend, Taylor Marino, in the first of 2 games with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on Valley Sports. Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, fueled by Gatorade. This afternoon, USA Lacrosse headquarters opens its doors for business on Valley Sports, where the captains take their cue as the team led by Allie Kennedy prepares for a run-in with a squad led by Taylor Marino. Athletes Unlimited invites 56 of the best players in the world to compete for one championship. Every week, teams of 14 are divided up by a captain's draft. The leaderboard changes minute by minute thanks to the scoring system as we play over 12 games in exactly 4 weeks for each player in the league. It is great to see you again. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. We will team up with field reporter Kylie Ohlmiller in just a minute. Court, Allie Kennedy and Taylor Marino, they're often teammates. What should we expect from them now that they're in each other's way?
You know, they've been teammates every week of AU Pro Lacrosse Season 4, even going back to that final week of Season 3. But the two of them have such a connection on the field. I think whoever's going to be most successful is realizing we're opponents now, and you have to step up and lead your respective teams.
Kylie Ohlmiller enters the picture right now, the NCAA's all-time point-scoring leader. Kylie, we're halfway home. The athletes can see the finish line from here. You've been there before. What's the mindset for today?
Week 3 is exciting because the players have the week 1 jitters out of the way. They really know who they gel with best out on the field. So week 3 is all about understanding who can really thrive or survive out there based on team chemistry.
Courtney, let's take a look at today's game. Taylor Marino, the 2-time defending champ. She's squarely in catch-up mode now.
You know, she has the highest save percentage as well as overall number saves for all goalies. If she continues to have 10-point-plus games by putting great defenses in front of her to do low-angle shots, she'll be successful.
Kylie, Izzy Skane joins forces with Marino, but only for today's game. She needs to maximize the next 40 minutes.
Izzy Skane is so dangerous because of her versatility. She can get to shots on the run, but also those powerful step-down shots. The way that she can attack and then re-attack a defense is what creates new lanes and makes her so unguardable.
So amazing when she gets to the cage. Let's flip the script and get to Allie Kennedy. Kylie, your good friend, is having a very fine season.
Allie Kennedy is a true two-way midfielder. It's rare you see a game that she's in where she doesn't push a fast break for a quick transition goal. This season, she seems to be really focusing on the defensive end of the ball, creating those offensive opportunities for herself, even those fancy shovel shots to hype up her team.
As for that defensive end, Captain Kennedy can depend on Britt Reed to be her anchor.
I like Britt Reed being Allie Kennedy's defensive quarterback. She's been a captain multiple times, so she knows how to lead the defense, especially throughout different sets. Her angle play is what makes her so hard to beat. She has a really high arc and catches attackers who like to rush their shot off guard.
Doesn't matter which season, you know, any of 4 in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. You look at the stat point leaders, and Britt Reed's always there, always among them. She is as consistent gets. It is an extremely hot day, the hottest day of Season 4 with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. We're here at USA Lacrosse headquarters, about 20 minutes north of Baltimore. This is Sparks, Maryland, where the temperatures throughout the day have been pushing the mid-90s. Courtney, it's way over that on the field. These athletes know they're in for a challenge.
You know, anytime you can manage the ball, that means just taking the ball out of the air, taking your time offensively and not rushing anything. 60 seconds, it may seem like a lot of time to run an offense, but when you have only one sub at every position, it can be really tiring.
The athletes are always generous with their time, always allowing us to chat with them as we go amid the game with Sam Geyersbach. Sam, you're climbing the leaderboard as you get to work with a new team today. What are your expectations?
Hi, I mean, I'm obsessed with this squad. We've got a lot of threats on this team. Sorry, Taylor Marino's trying to interrupt. Really excited for this weekend. We got a really good crew going, and it's been some of the first time I'm playing with some of these girls, so I'm really excited.
Sam, obviously every week Rosters change, but you've been moving up the leaderboard no matter where you are. How do you manage just to keep scoring goals no matter who you're with?
Just the little things, appreciating the little things on the field, always having fun out here. Can't take it too seriously, so just like to have fun and everything else will follow.
Go get them, 3-6. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Draw specialists are ready to go. Officials today, Lynn Bowers, Ronnie Anton, Erica Leslie, Liz Brush, and Julie Wakes. As Team Kennedy is in the blue and Team Marino in the orange. First possession belongs to Team Marino. We play this game 10 on 10, 6 on 6 at the offensive end of the field, and there is a 60-second shot clock in AU Pro Lacrosse. Marie McCool, who was a captain for the first time last week, a veteran midfield pair, partnership with Katie O'Donnell. You see that 8-meter key, score from beyond there, it's 2 points for your team, 16 for yourself on the individual leaderboard. Last weekend was terrific for Sammy Jo Tracy there, 13 in the orange, with 25 seconds to shoot. O'Donnell's had a great goal-scoring summer. So too has this rookie Peterson. Isabella trying to get inside. Excellent defense there. Collapsing to make the stick check. 12 seconds to shoot for McCool.
Good recovery, got 10.
Sammy Jo Tracy playing a lot at X, back behind the cage. Courtney Taylor there with her. 3 seconds to shoot. To the interior, Kinna from a bad angle. Not able to convert. This is a shot clock violation against Team Marino. So folks, throughout the day, we're going to be showing you the leaderboard. 56 players are here. The top 4 will receive medals at the end of week 4 play. There's only one champion, Sam Apuzzo, who's been a 3-time medalist, is number 1 on the leaderboard. She plays in the nighttime game. The colors next to the names are connected to the jersey colors that the players will wear this week. Allie Kennedy has possession on the exchange with her Team USA teammate Ali Mastriani. Bring it this way to the outstanding rookie, Sydney Black. Black, cross field, Geyersback shimmies, wants her left, fires, denied there at the end of the line. It's Taylor Marino getting her week 3 off to a good start. You have 20 seconds to clear the midline in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. No worries there for Kendall Halpern. Folks, everything is about winning. You can see the betting numbers at the bottom of the screen, the favorites today, the over and unders, just the same. Quarter points are available for all 14 players on the roster. When you win an individual quarter, it's 20 points for everybody on the side. Skane going to goal. Izzy rolls back. 2-time Tewaaraton Award winner, ripped off by Meg Dowdy, and Dowdy runs in transition. A possible fast break here. Dowdy going to the goal, fires! Marino says, no, you don't. Taylor already with 2 stops in the game's first 3 minutes.
You notice that defensively, nobody on Team Kennedy slid.
Kinna to the cage, she scores! Megan Kinna.
Anytime a defensive player has the ball in their stick, oftentimes they're just testing out the waters. Who was going to step up and make them make a stop? They trusted in their goalkeeper, Meg Dowdy. Wasn't sure if she was going to head to cage. She decided to go. Nobody took her on. An easy stop for Taylor Marino, and immediately it sparked an offensive transition. Megan Kinna with the speed. She's another rookie this year, and she showed on the reverse end. If you don't step up to play me, I'm going to make you pay.
And that was the difference right there, Courtney. You saw a little bit of hesitation from Meg Dowdy on the one end in the transition. There was 0 hesitation from Meg Kinna as she pushed that ball for a goal.
Megan Kinna gets into double figures this season, as you can tell, bottom of the screen. She's the only player in Athletes Unlimited to wear the same color each of the first 3 weeks. Nothing but orange for Kinna, who has goals in 5 of her last 6. Marino gets credited with the assist. We saw Kaylee Waters pick up an assist last weekend. Just now 3 minutes old. This is game 13 of 24 this summer. On a Thursday night with you from Sparks, Maryland. Casey Choma working the 6-on-6 on the interchange with Isabella Peterson. Going to the goal, Peterson fakes. Lost it there, she ran into a double team, and Allie Kennedy streaks away. Kennedy, a first-time captain in her 4 summers of AU Pro Lacrosse, hesitates and finds Black. Off the hitch, the jump shot there, and Marino's locked right in to start things.
You know, a new rule in AU Pro Lacrosse this summer is something called walling. We saw Meg Dowdy kind of take a little duck there for a second when it was that pump fake by Peterson. She was actually looking for that walling call to be made. You can't stand inside of that restricted area or even just around it. You have to be playing a player moving through, not necessarily trying to take a shot away from any of those attackers.
Izzy Skane on the rollback. Skane at the 8-meter key, marked by Courtney Taylor. O'Donnell finds Choma. Choma bluffed the long-range shot. Haley Warden was in that shooting channel. Peterson hesitates with 14 seconds to shoot. Sammy Jo Tracy trying on Meg Dowdy for size. McCool feed it inside, score! Great look to the interior for Choma.
I like Team Marino taking their time offensively. They were down to the nitty-gritty. They had less than 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Sammy Jo Tracy saw the first cutter. She moved it to McCool, who then saw the action inside. We see just a nice little slip from Choma, who's able to put it away easily.
And Choma's known for that. She did that her entire career at Notre Dame. She can just find those slippery openings off ball, and her ability to kind of quickly catch, turn, and finish without even looking at the cage, she can do that all day long.
2 times the first-team All-American at Notre Dame was Casey Choma. As we are near the midway mark of this opening quarter of play, 20 points available for the team that wins each individual frame. Advantage for the team dressed in orange at the moment. Sammy Jo Tracy, who set draw control records when she was at North Carolina, battling against Mastriani. This comes up for Emily Knowles. Knowles has been fantastic in this her rookie season. Team Marino has won all 3 of the draws so far. Knowles is the highest ranked rookie on the leaderboard. There were 3 of those first-timers among the top 10.
You know, and no surprise for Team Marino. Taylor picking up 3 of her 4 defensive players are all rookies. Emily Knowles, Maddie Burns, Kendall Halpern, all of them known for being able to cause turnovers, wreak havoc on the defensive end, just like Caroline Wakefield, the veteran.
Peterson for McCool, quickly back behind the cage for Tracy once more. Feed it inside, put away! Choma has the hot stick early.
Sammy Jo Tracy, she showed her dominance last week. Initiating from X, I think that's where she finds her home best. She is able to be that true facilitator, really getting the offense for Team Marino involved. Stick with us on AU Pro Lacrosse.
Let's take a look at the innovative scoring system. Athletes score points as individuals and as a team. Outscore your opponent in a quarter, and every player on the team earns 20 points. Tied quarters roll over, making subsequent quarters more and more valuable. Win the game. Every player on the team gets 45 points. As for individual performance, points are allotted for success offensively and defensively. Players earn points for goals, assists, draw controls, and more. But they lose points for turnovers and goals against.
Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, fueled by Gatorade. Taylor Marino's off to a really good start. 3 stops already in the opening quarter. As we think about it, at the end of each week, the top 4 players on the leaderboard are newly minted as captains. So at the end of week 2, it would be Sam Apuzzo on top, trying to win her first AU Pro Lacrosse title. Taylor Marino, 10 straight weeks as a captain. She's the 2-time defending champ. Allie Kennedy and Charlotte North, each captains for the first time this summer and throughout their pro careers. As we take a look at the rosters for these two sides, Allie Kennedy's team dressed in blue. Sydney Black had a fantastic first couple of weeks. She's been very highly decorated, a recent award that we'll tell you about as the game goes along. Watch out for Mastriani in the midfield. You've already seen these defenders light up, Taylor and Dowdy and Colson, a veteran trio working with Trinity McPherson. As far as Team Marino's concerned, in the orange, Taylor made sure to go through the draft roster and make sure that she would find Megan Kinna there in the midfield. Isabella Peterson's turning into a fine pro in this her first season. On the back end, as Courtney has laid out, it's a young unit, all anchored by the wily Caroline Wakefield. Halpern, Knowles, and Burns just dipping a toe into their AU Pro Lacrosse careers and doing so extremely well. We have a 3-0 score. 3 tallies on the board. Kinna and a couple from Casey Choma. Team Marino's squad shooting 75% in this first quarter. We play 10-minute quarters in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Mastriani with a draw control, give her 4 points. One of the many different ways that players can add to their leaderboard totals. When you score a goal, Court, you get 12. When you make a save this season, you get 4. Geiersbach has been scoring an awful lot. Spillis from the top, outstanding rookie from Rutgers. Geiersbach at the 8-meter key on the exchange. Mastriani has that kind of range. Doesn't pull the trigger there, halfway through the 60-second shot clock. Sydney Black, electrifying moves off the split. No room to take that shot. Wakefield marks up. Black looking for a cutter. Geiersbach from the severe angle. Rolls into trouble, the bouncer that goes wide. Allie Kennedy has 9 seconds to shoot. Bringing it in off the wing against Knowles. Fires from down under. Stopped there by Marino and secured by Megan Kinna. Kinna showing off her wheels through midfield. Stretching her legs all the way to the top of the 8-meter key. Finds the open Sammy Jo Tracy. Bluffs it. Sneak attack here. Peterson failed to convert. Lizzie Colson comes out of the pack, but then she fumbled it. As the sticks get a little high, Izzy Skane was fouled.
Joe, I talked about it in the open a little bit. Britt Reed, just with that high arc, Peterson being a rookie, they're just not quite used to that defensive player, the goalkeeper, coming out so high and taking away such angle. As we take another little peek, a nice look for Sammy Jo Tracy, but one more little second would have been wise for Peterson just to give herself a little bit of a shoot around.
Sammy Jo isolates back behind the cage. Kinna popping this one for Skane. And around the horn to McCool. Shot clock's at 35. Isabella Peterson, fresh from James Madison University. Sammy Jo choosing Skane for a rocket, denied by Reed. Follow-up chance, bunted wide over top of the goal by Casey Choma, who's looking for the early hat trick.
I like the look from downtown. Izzy Skane just making sure all the defense as well as the goalkeeper are being kept honest. And obviously Choma with that nice potential little rebound in tight is how she got so many of her collegiate goals.
Looking back to the net minding work. Left side of your screen.
Again, as the ball moves around the perimeter, that's how you beat those man-down situations when you're a player up. But Britt Reed standing tall inside the goal. Possession back to Team Marino as they'll have another shot at this.
Player up after the offside. Team Marino in orange looking to stretch its first quarter lead. A shade more than 2 minutes with which to work in this opening stanza. Choma choosing O'Donnell. Skane likes to attack from that left wing. Powers her way inside and scores! Izzy Skane.
Izzy Skane getting the goggles knocked off and all. She's so quick on that very first step. As soon as she received the ball again, generally you're gonna see cutters in player-up opportunities. Choma, O'Donnell, Spillis. Izzy Skane thought about bringing it low. She saw defense was just standing there with their feet kind of in mud. So that's when she decided to dip that shoulder, take it hard in, and that was that swipe, that potential foul, but nothing was called.
Yeah, and as you saw that swipe, that check there, the referees did have their flag up, but since Skane was taking that shot and she did convert on it, the goal counts.
Big numbers for Izzy. She's tallied in all 7 games as a pro. This is the same Izzy Skane who will be inactive, guys, on Saturday and Sunday due to a previous commitment. She will not be in the lineup. So Taylor Marino's squad could take advantage of one of the game's golden guns in this game alone. Sammy Jo Tracy back into work at the draw circle. The upper hand in this category early on belonging to Team Marino in orange. This time the draw control belongs to Allie Kennedy. She once had 10 draw controls in one game. That'll really make your leaderboard total soar.
You know, off of that draw circle, she is so quick. She just tracks the ball very well. She sees it and moves all in one, which is what you want out of a draw circle person.
Sydney Black fidgeting at the 8-meter key. Gets away there from the defensive Halpern. Bring it on around for Geyers back. 20 points available for the team that wins each individual quarter. Right now it's Marino comfortably in front, 4-zip. The officials with a call. They're bringing Kendall Halpern to the sideline. This is a yellow card and a player up now for Team Kennedy.
A check to the head. It was outside of that critical scoring area. Sydney Black with the fancy footwork, super fast. We're gonna see the reach across. Sydney held that head up, electing to slow things down, a shot clock reset, which is so important.
Player up here for Team Kennedy. The captain attempting to go to goal. Wakefield denying her path there. Swing it back on one skip for Black. Mastriani off the face dodge to the split. She just sent it wide of Marino. Taking it in off the end line in the final minute of this opening quarter. Aldave will swing. Mastriani angles towards the rack. There's Kennedy firing wide. That was deflected by a defender. Time ticking down to 37 seconds in the quarter. 15 on the shot clock. Geyers back. Had that one rejected. There's a call here. Officials asking for a reset of the shot clock. It's turned off now this late in the frame. And then a turnover to Team Marino in orange. Allie Kennedy's squad ice cold in this opening quarter, 0 for 8 shooting. Kinna for Choma, who already has 2. Any late quarter magic for Casey. Ball down off of Sammy Jo Tracy with 2 seconds to shoot. No quick stick there for Peterson. Ball down in the quarter comes to its end. 20 points banked by all 14 players in orange. Team Marino comfortably takes down the opening 10 minutes, 4-0. We will continue with more from USA Lacrosse headquarters. Casey Choma's having a hot start to an extremely hot Thursday night.
Check out our online store.
Plenty of young lacrosse fans in the stands watching their heroes at work. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse 1/4 of the way home, and Team Marino confidently in front by a 4-0 score. Taylor Marino, best buds and life partners with Allie Kennedy, so this has to be a very difficult matchup. Taylor's wearing a microphone for us, and she agrees. Let's go into the game now with the U.S. Air Force.
Was she still mad at you that you got busy?
She said she won't be mad at me until after this game. Ow.
But what if we win? When we win?
Then she goes, then we're breaking up. That's like the hardest part too, is like being in a relationship and then like being captains and like kind of having this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck. I got a butt smack, she's not mad.
You what?
I said I got a butt smack, she's not mad.
No hard feelings yet between those two, although Team Marino's squad was confidently out in front and easily so in the first 10 minutes.
Right, it's always easier when you're the one on the receiving end of all the goals initially. Kylie, you know Allie, and she's a competitor. I can already see it in her face.
They're both competitors. They would be lying if they said that this game wasn't a competition for them. But both of them off to a great start. Taylor Marino seeing the ball early.
So strange to see Taylor Marino, Kylie, in court in orange. It's the second time ever. The only other time was week 1 of her rookie season where Marino was in orange. And oh, by the way, in that rookie season, she won the whole shebang. She's the 2-time defending champion, and already with a handful of stops in the game's first 11 minutes.
And Allie Mastriani, she's made an adjustment at the draw. She's won the last few. She's feeling pretty confident in that area. Now all Team Kennedy needs to do is just let it translate into goals being scored.
Mastriani on the move here. A sidewinder. In lacrosse on a missed shot closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field gets possession. So the ball stays with Team Kennedy in blue. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor upstairs. Kylie Ohlmiller is our field reporter. 3-year AU Pro Lacrosse veteran. Geyersbach's drive, easy pickings for Marino. Kylie sitting this summer out due to injury. As Marino sets sail along with Emily Knowles, a first-team All-American this past spring at North Carolina, 4-year starter for Jenny Levy's Tar Heels. Katie O'Donnell, so many of the players on the field throughout, of the 56 that are here, are coaches' court. Katie's a head coach at Drexel. Skane playing the 2-player game, going to the goal. Snapped that one high. She tried to catch Britt Reed napping there. 20 seconds to shoot. Sammy Jo Tracy sprints in, working on a rocker step against Dowdy. Choma already with 2 goals to the interior. On her way down, she slugged that one wide. Good hustle by Meg Dowdy. Dowdy will get 10 points there for the caused turnover, the change of possession.
You know, anytime you can run a shot out and just be aware of your overall surroundings, good things can come. Because yes, a caused turnover, that's a plus 10 for you. If it would have been a shot clock violation drawn, the entire defense, everyone in blue, would have received +4, but this time it's all going to number 5.
Early stages of this second quarter. Sydney Black trying to break the ice here in the scoring. Lets it fly. Marino makes another save. Halpern has the rebound. Folks, you can get closer to the action with your free Unlimited Club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Sign up at auprolacrosse.com. Team Marino right back to the offensive set. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. From goal line to goal line in AU Pro Lacrosse, it's 80 yards. Two teams have been working through practices the past couple of days. This is the first game in a 3-game, 4-day stretch. We've got Team Apuzzo and Team North with plenty of star power through the rosters coming up tonight. A game scheduled to start around 7:30 Eastern. Choma, switch the point of attack for McCool. Dodging downhill against Kennedy. Allie took a good angle there, and then she made the rip-off. Caused turnover, ground ball, and away to the races goes Allie Kennedy. Kennedy glides to the 8-meter key. No passing lane there for her. She'll wait for Haley Warden to come off the sideline.
Again, I like Team Marino taking things a little bit slow, maybe too slow and nonchalant. Marie McCool pulling things out, but anytime you're under the pressure of Allie Kennedy, you gotta watch out. Even though she's small, she's mighty, has that overhead check.
Geyer's back, fires and scores! The first shot in 12 for Team Kennedy to hit pay dirt.
Andy Aldave is one of those players who either is always cutting and in the right position, or her eyes are always up. A tremendous IQ on the field. Sam Geyer's back to Aldave. Aldave back to Geyer's back. Love how the two of them work. Geyer's back was a graduate transfer to North Carolina. That's where they first made their connection.
And that connection is big there. I overheard them in the huddle in between quarters talking about how they wanted to stretch out their offense a little bit more and allow themselves to kind of let those shots fly. They feel like they're catching the ball on that pass right there and trying to get to the inside a little bit more, but running into a bunch of defensive pressure. I like that quick release from Sam Geyer's back.
Nice work, ladies. You know the connection between those two. Aldave and Geyer's back were roommates at North Carolina after their transfers in to Chapel Hill.
And they both had two different paths. Andy Aldave had a stellar career at Notre Dame, another ACC school, and Sam Geyer's back coming out of Richmond, a team within the A10. She started out and didn't have the best fall, and she was open about that. She thought, why on earth did I even transfer for a second? And then she came in, flipped the script, and was controlled, understood her role, ultimately went on to win MVP of the NCAA championship game.
Team Marino taking a timeout. Geyer's back, chatting it over with her captain. The lone goal in the second quarter belongs to Team Kennedy.
Don't forget to also check out the beer garden, located right by the food trucks. And remember that you can bring your food and drink back to your seat with you.
AU family and friends, guys, take it off. Usually so good at this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, so Ellie got 7, but you got 5, so no worries. You're all going home courtesy of the AU family with a friendship bracelet. This one is courtesy of Ellie Macera. You're getting one, plus you're also going home with AU t-shirts. Thanks for playing on the clock. We appreciate you, ladies.
Those 5 young ladies have it made in the shade under the tent, avoiding the sunlight on a 95-degree day in Sparks, Maryland. Team Kennedy has the lone goal in the second quarter. They're trying to win those 20 points for quarter win. The goal came compliments of Sam Geyer's back, number 36, wearing a microphone for us. We can go into the game.
Let's go! Let's go! Here we go. Good job, you guys. Yeah, good job. Let's go.
Took a while for Team Kennedy to get on the board. Geyer's back does it. She's standing by with Kylie.
I overheard you guys talking in the huddle a little bit about stretching the offense a bit. What goes into that?
Yeah, I think we're just getting really tight with ourselves, and slides are coming quick, and defense can obviously just impact that and kind of pack in tight. So I just think the wider we get, the more slides will have to come, and we can read the backside a little bit more.
More shot opportunities like that. Keep it up.
Hopefully. Thanks.
Field reporter Kylie Ohlmiller keeping tabs on things up close and personal with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, fueled by Gatorade. First of 2 tonight on Bally Sports. Isabella Peterson picked up on the perimeter by Meg Dowdy. Team Marino in the orange scored the first 4 points of the night. Won the first quarter convincingly. Now looking for their first strike in the second frame. O'Donnell gets a step. Yields this one for Kinna. Off the two-player game, it's Peterson. Not able to shake Dowdy. Skane fires and scores! Shot that one through a couple of defenders to the roof.
You know, I understood what the defense of Team Kennedy was doing. Everyone in those blue jerseys. They were stepping back for a 2-second. You had a lot of two-player game, moving, swinging the ball from side to side. Ultimately, when Peterson dragged it over and started to work with Izzy Skane, you saw them take a step back because Peterson is a big target inside. She could have slipped the pick, but instead that gave more space to the hands of Izzy Skane, and if you leave her free, she's gonna wind up and shoot.
That's exactly right, Courtney. When she has that space, she's going to wind up and shoot. She kind of looks for that first, and if it's not the angle, then she'll kind of drive off of it and get closer to the middle. But her step-down shot is a really tough one to beat.
Izzy Skane already has 4 hat tricks as a professional in her first 6 outings. She's 2/3 of the way there again tonight. This early evening with Team Marino level in the second quarter, 1 point apiece. The team that wins the game gets 45 individual points for the leaderboard, all the players, all 14. And thus those totals on the leaderboard that you see now will rise and fall. Every play matters in Athletes Unlimited. Taylor Marino trying to reel in Sam Apuzzo. Apuzzo plays in the nightcap. Sydney Black, a couple of highlight reel goals to her credit in her first summer as a pro. Exchanging here for Geyersbach, working against Burns. Traded off to Halpern. This sidewinder for Mastriani missed the target. 20 seconds to shoot. Less than 5 minutes to go in this opening half. Stick around. A special feature on Allie Kennedy and Taylor Marino coming up after 20 minutes. Kaylin Hart will get things restarted. Geyersbach off the feed to Mastriani with room inside. That's fenced away by Marino. That one was headed wide. Kaylin Hart will drag it back in. America East Attacker of the Year out of Stony Brook. Geyersbach and around the horn for Kennedy. Allie Kennedy waiting to go. Plays the 2-person screen game with Geyersbach. Played well there defensively by Kinna. Halfway through the shot clock, Geyersbach fires. Marino has been a brick wall in this first half. 8 stops already. She's been in double figures in her career some 16 times. McCool end-to-end, and she snapped it high. Backed up on the end line by Sammy Jo Tracy. She worms her way topside against Lizzie Colson. A bouncer here. Reed anticipated that well.
Marie McCool was another little option to the inside. So anytime you have your eyes up, they did have a lot of time on the clock in that last little instant. So I would have liked to have seen Team Marino take their time a little bit more, as they have been so successful doing that throughout the first quarter into the second.
Folks, we're enjoying Season 4. The AU Pro Shop has you covered with the latest lacrosse gear. Check out the online store at shop.auprosports.com. It's the destination for player merchandise and exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else. Hart on the go. Kennedy next in line. Allie sweeps from the top, 15 seconds to shoot. Mastriani thought about the 2. Bouncer on the way, and Marino sees that one ankle high.
Those two squaring off so many times during their years at UNC together, but I like Allie Mastriani. She's just so dominant with, I'm gonna take a shot, I'm gonna throw a little hitch, and then I'm gonna continue on that dodge. Oftentimes goalies can freeze, but when it's a goalkeeper who has seen you so many times before, they know those moves.
Katie O'Donnell will slow the tempo now. Getting late in this first half. O'Donnell, Tracy, then Skane off the face dodge, snaps that one wide. Choma there on the end line with 2 minutes to go in quarter 2. Choma had a couple of goals in the first 10 minutes. Isabella Peterson looking to get on the board. Fires, that's fought off. Britt Reed's got 4 saves in the cage for Team Kennedy. Dowdy in need of repair.
No, they know that. They know that. Goes down.
Courtney, you and I have been lucky enough to call many Team USA games and World Championships past, and it was always thought of that Dowdy was the most physical, strongest player of Team USA. Rugged customer takes a bump and a bruise every now and then.
As we take a look at what happened, Isabella Peterson, with her shot being taken, you know, the referees, if they take a look at this, I think they might come into the conclusion that the shot was already happening, the stick was following through, and then the defensive player was coming into it. We've seen that happen before in a previous game.
Kylie, the officials are reviewing it for a dangerous shot.
They are, and that play happened so very quickly that the shot went off of Britt Reed's helmet and came out this way towards the sideline near me. So everything continued to play on, and on the backside we saw Meg Dowdy asking for that foul.
Joe, and after re-seeing it, now I'm questioning my
follow through.
But yeah, when it was in super slow-mo, it seemed like, okay, Meg was moving into it. But then when it was a little bit faster of a replay, it does seem like the stick was following through, and even though Meg was moving into the space, that's a natural progression for a defensive player.
See Dowdy immediately dabbing at her nose and continuing to do so as she makes her way back to the sideline. This with 1:43 remaining in the first half. If you're just tuning in with us, a 4-0 advantage for Team Marino through the opening quarter. Everybody on the roster, all 14 players, earning 20 points for that quarter win. The second quarter deadlocked at 1 apiece. Geyersbach and Skane have traded tallies. Coming up at the half, here's what we have on the menu for you. A special feature on Allie Kennedy and Taylor Marino. We'll preview the big one tonight, Team Apuzzo and Team North, as Charlotte North gets her first kick at the can as a captain.
It's so crazy to think that Allie Kennedy and Charlotte North have not been captains before. They're always chosen so early in terms of the draft each and every week. But what's exciting is that they're getting to do it against 2 of the best. Apuzzo and Marino have been captains 10 and 11 times respectively.
There are no coaches in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. There are facilitators. Facilitators help to run the sideline. They warm up the goalies. They build relationships and trust.
After the review, it is confirmed that number 7 had a dangerous follow-through.
So this will be a dangerous follow-through call.
Yellow card, and it'll be blue ball coming
Peterson
out.
gets the yellow card. It's player up for Team Kennedy as a result. If the quarter is tied, right now we're 1-1. If the second quarter remains tied, the 20 points available would carry over to the third. The third quarter would then become worth 40 points overall. Blindingly hot day. Heat advisories throughout the afternoon. Temperatures soaring near triple digits. It's definitely over 100 on the field.
You know, with the temperatures being so hot, USA Lacrosse, they're hosting U16 and U18, the U.S. National Team Development Program. And Kylie, you're an assistant coach for one of them. They've canceled the afternoon session, correct, because of how hot?
I believe so. I'm doing double duty. I'm down here and I'm also over there, but it was very hot, and kudos to these girls out in the pros and those girls in the U16 and U18 really working hard through it and drinking lots of water.
Kylie wearing black on the sideline. She's been in red, white, and blue most of the day. As Hart looks to go to the cage with Aldave. Just over a minute to go in the half. Sydney Black with 20 seconds to shoot. Mastriani thought about it. Black looking for a friendly cross there. It's Kennedy from the bad angle wide of Taylor Marino. Reloading Aldave, 10 seconds to shoot. Kennedy marked by Wakefield. Aldave on a sneak attack. She sent that one wide. And hustling to the sideline, Maddie Burns gets possession for Team Marino in orange. Burns, the only Michigan Wolverine of the 56 players in town for Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. It has been a rough shooting first half for Team Kennedy. Just 1 for 18 in the first 20 minutes.
You know, Joe, I'm not sure if Team Marino understands how much time is left. There's 20 seconds to try and get this second quarter points, but they need to put a goal on the board, and they got to work fast.
Right now, we're tied 1 apiece. Skane going to work to the cage. That one rings a crossbar. She had Reed beaten there. 5 seconds left. Ball on the sideline belongs to Meg Dowdy and Team Kennedy. It's heaved downfield as the buzzer sounds, ending the second quarter. So those 20 points will carry over. The third quarter is now worth 40.
You know, I like this look. Marie McCool looking for a nice little back door pass. And Skane, it was just a little too close. Defense, I think, played it very well and got that last little shot, the lowest possible angle for number 27.
Izzy Skane's in a good frame of mind. You see the smile on her face. Wouldn't you be if you were on the board twice already? And she has taken so smoothly to life in the pro ranks. Izzy Skane helping Team Marino to the 5-1 lead. Kylie Ohlmiller is visiting with the captain.
Taylor, everything's going right a little bit right now. Offense, defense. What is the game plan on offense? Because it seems like things are just moving.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us, focusing on just our ball movement, making sure everybody's cycling, replacing, making sure we're backing up the cage, and just moving the ball quickly. The defenses in this game are really, really hard, especially without any shooting space or 3 seconds. So really getting the opportunity to like move the ball and clear some space and get good looks has kind of been our offensive goal.
Well, thanks so much. Good luck in the second half. And stay cool.
Thank you.
Impossible to stay cool. Can't be underneath that helmet. Taylor Marino showing off that very competitive and fun personality. She and her mates have this one under control. It's a 5-1 lead at the break. Stay with us. A feature on Kennedy and Marino. Straight ahead next. Rolling right along in Sparks, Maryland, we have wheeled through 20 minutes of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on Bally Sports. Team Kennedy and Team Marino hanging out at the half. Today's captains are adversaries in this game, but Allie Kennedy and Taylor Marino have an exceptional relationship off the field.
What comes to mind when you say Taylor Marino? My best friend, dog mom, champion, winner in everything that she does. My life partner that I do everyday things with.
When you say the name Allie Kennedy, what comes to mind would be resilience. She's also someone who is probably one of the most caring, thoughtful, genuine, funniest humans I've ever met.
She means everything to me off the field. On the field, she's a stud. She is the best of the best goalie in the world. I'm on her team. If I'm not on her team, I'm in some trouble, that's for sure.
Kennedy speeds into this rush, lets it go, and scores!
Playing against each other, I can just patiently stare and watch her barreling full speed down the field on a breakaway, and I'm like, this ball is about to be shot so hard, I hope it doesn't hit me. That is quite the intimidating moment, watching her come full speed like a rocket down the field. It's just a very supportive environment in the sense that we get to really go through it and embrace it together, and we both get to be our own professional athletes while at the same time we get to look to each other and lean on each other to try to just play our best.
It's a pretty good matchup. Folks, stay right there with us. When we return, it'll be time to offer up a preview of the second game of the doubleheader. Thoughts on what's ahead with Apuzo and North in a moment. The action has come to a full stop after 2 quarters of play. Team Kennedy and Team Marino getting refreshed at the half on Bally Sports. We have another outstanding matchup coming your way a little bit later on. Courtney, Team Apuzzo and Team North should be a treat. And for Team Apuzzo, the young shall lead them.
You know, I like the fact that Sam Apuzzo is doing something a little different this week. 4 of her rookies are all offensive style players. Madison Ahern, Erin Kuykendall, Maggie Hall, Cassidy Weeks. They've all stepped up big for her.
You know Katie Glynn will be there to reject enemy attackers just the same until the captain is ready to unload.
You know, I love watching Sam play. Number one, her leadership skills speak far above her ability on the field. She just really gets everyone excited to go.
On the other side of the equation, Team North likely to get a lot of the draw controls thanks to Libby Rosenzweig.
You know, Libby, every time she is at the draw circle, you know she's competing for possession for her team. Ellie Macera, another one of those midfielders who can just create separation on the field. But then you look at your captain, and Charlotte North, you give her time, room, and space, she'll make you pay.
Absolutely torrid first 2 weeks for Charlotte North. Now, Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse has a lot of talent, but in Game 2, the star power lines up neatly.
And that's a lot of goals being scored in addition to a lot of saves. Katie Glynn always seems to match up well with Sam Apuzzo. They just feed off of one another at each ends of the field. And Charlotte North, when you look at what she put together as a first-time captain, I'm excited to see what they can do.
North and Rosenzweig off of record-setting weeks in Week 2. Now, we have more to do at the half in this one. Stay right there. Our analysts will be weighing in on the key moments of the first half between Team Kennedy and Team Marino right after these messages. USA Lacrosse headquarters, the home of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse Season 4 in Sparks, Maryland. It was a great first quarter for Team Marino. They have a 5-1 advantage after 20 minutes on Bally Sports. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you. Court's a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Courtney, we watched that first 10 minutes unfold. What was the big difference in favor of Team Marino?
You know, I think obviously the goaltending of Taylor Marino, but the defense that she put in front of her. They are forcing low-angle shots. They are putting her in a position to make the best possible save, and then that's sparking their offense.
When we get to the highlights, we see the captain, Taylor Marino, definitely up to her old tricks. She was so sharp from the opening draw.
You know, Taylor's been dialed in from that very first draw control. You can see that she's just feeling confident in net. Whenever she gets those early, quick, and a lot of saves, she already has 9 here just in the first half, she just continues to let it roll.
The offense would be taken care of predominantly by two different players. First off, Izzy Skane.
You know, they were in a player-up situation right here, but anytime you can do something out of the norm, like looking to bob and weave, it catches the defenders on their heels. And then Izzy Skane, again, you have to get on her hands, otherwise she has such a powerful shot from the outside.
Great goal-scoring reputation, just like Casey Choma.
You know, Marie McCool was the one with the vision here. Casey Choma, I like the fact that she can catch that ball quickly and release it, whether it's from up top or behind. Great handball skills inside.
Courtney, when we look at the numbers in the first half, you're going to see the shot volume is way up there, 18-16, but ice cold was Team Kennedy.
You know, I look at the turnovers, surprised that Team Marino leads in that category, yet they still are ahead 5-1 in the first half. And then obviously you look at the saves, 9-4, that's another huge difference. Otherwise, everything is fairly even.
Before the third quarter, Kylie helps us get to know Casey Choma.
Casey, you have been a key part of this offense so far. What goes into making a great off-ball player?
I think most important is the feeder itself and having a great connection with the girls around you. Just that eye contact, being on the same page, and just being able to read one another.
You definitely can read this offense well, so keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse Season 4. Athletes Unlimited launched in 2020 with women's softball. Volleyball is a sport for Athletes Unlimited as well, and Casey was a volleyball player in middle school. Izzy Skane striding back to the playing surface. She grew up a competitive gymnast. As Team Marino's having some fun on the sideline, they should be, after controlling the opening half 5-1. But a reminder, that second quarter was deadlocked a goal apiece. Geyer's back for Team Kennedy, Skane for Team Marino. So this third quarter is worth 40. And we're all about the leaderboard now. This is week 3 of 4. Game 13 of 24. There are 56 players in town. There's only one championship. On August the 11th, we'll have 4 medalists. A Defender of the Year, an all-defensive team, a Teammate of the Year as well will be awarded. As we look at the leaderboard to get things going, up to the minute, Sam Apuzzo there wearing the white and gold this week. The colors next to the name reflective of the jersey colors for this week. Apuzzo trying to win the championship for the first time. She's been oh so close on 3 other instances. Team Marino in orange, Sammy Jo Tracy had a rock star Sunday, the last game of last week. 3 goals and 3 assists for 13 here. Isabella Peterson swings. O'Donnell shooting at a very high percentage this summer. Better than 60 overall. Kin has been an outside and inside threat. Megan working at the 8-meter key, fires for 2. Denied there by a kneeling Britt Reed. 4 points for every goalie save.
You know, I know that Megan Kinna, she has the ability to shoot from downtown, but against a keeper like Britt Reed, you at least have to do it off of a big pass, maybe a star pass from one side of the field to the other, where she's not already dialed in and locked into you as the shooter.
Allie Kennedy, a sidewinder there. There was a whistle, though, on that shot. Team Kennedy is celebrating. There was a whistle as that shot was released, but Kennedy thinks she's on the board with the second for her squad.
You know, curious to see if Team Marino is going to challenge this, and it doesn't look like they are, because a simultaneous whistle means that a goal stands. And again, a quick little stutter step from Allie Kennedy just gives her a slight edge as she winds up for this outside shot.
And that's all Allie Kennedy needed there, just to get herself going. She had a really nice back check on defense in the first half, but I think just to shake out some of these nerves, she needed to get a goal on the board, and that's what we saw there.
The first time Athletes Unlimited captain Allie Kennedy with tallies in 6 of her 7 games this summer. Scoring there against her best friend and life partner, Taylor Marino. Marino had all the bragging rights in the first half, already pushing towards double figures in saves. first goal of the third quarter belongs to Team Kennedy in blue. This third frame is worth 40 after the second quarter carryover. Marie McCool will bring it along. Marie McCool said she modeled her game after Taylor Cummings. It was Taylor Cummings who was the inaugural champion of AU Pro Lacrosse. This evening we are fueled by Gatorade on Bally Sports. Joe and Courtney upstairs. Kylie Ohlmiller, our field reporter. 3 cheers for all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts. There's a card coming here. A player up opportunity for Team Marino as Captain Kennedy gets the gate.
Sometimes defensively, your eyes get so big. You see the head of that stick, and it's just too tempting. Allie Kennedy again going for an over-the-head check on Megan Kinna. Megan Kinna has her by a couple inches.
Skane going through the player up formation with Tracy. Sammy Jo skips it to O'Donnell. Sneak attack Peterson. Peterson drew a crowd there. 3 defenders came to her. Isabella fighting for the ground ball. Nice little goose. She'll pitch that one to O'Donnell. Unsettled for Sammy Jo off the split dodge. Tracy feeds outside. McCool will slow it down halfway through the shot clock. 2.5 minutes into quarter 3. Still player up for the team in orange. Skane off the face dodge, fires. That one rattles around off of Britt Reed. Loose ball, Peterson, follow up, denied. Reed crosses over and makes a snappy looking save.
Kylie, you're at field level, but I see Isabella, she's getting the looks at Cage. She has her hands free. It just seems like she's not exploding towards the goal as much. It's all kind of same speed.
She looks as if she's almost taking too many cradles. I think she's just kind of trying to get too much to the middle, trying to get her hands too free, I guess. I think she's just got to release the shots a little bit sooner.
Peterson's had a hot hand this summer with 3 hat tricks already prior to today's action. Aldave trying to get underneath, no sail there. Wakefield close by the post. Mastriani weaving through the traffic, lost it out of her cross. She was hit there to the side, then she goes hockey style and sent that one wide of the net.
Ooh, and this is going to be 10 points, a caused turnover for Taylor Marino. So more than double the amount that she receives for saves. This year it's just 4 points for every save. Previously, 5 points last year, 6 in the first 2 years for goalkeepers.
Often running, it's Kinna, then for Skane. Players getting points based on how their team performs and how well they perform individually. Marino so opportunistic though on those missed shots. O'Donnell going to the goal. She scores! No missing there.
Katie O'Donnell had a monster week 2 here in season 4 of AU Pro Lacrosse. She just does everything so consistently, so well. We saw her protect the stick to the opposite side of her body. You weren't sure if she was going to take the 2-player game top side or on the other underneath. She brought the stick opposite side of her body, a nice little offside action, our Canadian left.
She's been the leader of this offense so far. From what I can hear down on the field level, it's hot out here. So midfielders, as they're transitioning the ball up the field, Katie O'Donnell's voice is the one I hear the most about telling them when to slow it down, maybe get the ball around, maybe not push so much of the fast break because it might be smarter to take some time. So not only converting on the board, but also being a leader out there.
Katie moonlighting here with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Her day job, the head coach at Drexel. She and Cookie Carr. Kristen there, a head coach nearby at Towson. O'Donnell, the daughter of John and Jen. Courtney, if I'm not mistaken, Jen's a longtime official, right?
That's right. And so she's one of those players who's grown up in and around the game. She was able to watch the game at the highest of levels. And then now that she's a head coach, she has that perspective as well. So she's seen it from all fronts, whether as a player, watching her mom through officiating, and now as a coach.
Katie often says that mom likes to sneak into the building here at USA Lacrosse headquarters on Thursday night. She's probably here hiding right now, watching her daughter in action. Almost halfway home in this third quarter. Here comes Sydney Black. That explosive split dodge. Sneak here for Kennedy. Bounced it wide of Marino. Kept on the end line by Kaylin Hart. 230 goals at Stony Brook during her career. Bad angle drive that was whistled wide. It hit a defender, dropped in her tracks there. And finally, the officials will stop play. That shot came through, smacking into the fallen defender. It was Kendall Halpern who took the worst of it.
You know,
Just now powering herself back to her feet.
Joe, one of those unfortunate situations. She was not between the shooter and the goal circle, but we saw such a low angle shot. Sam was going for that 2-point goal behind the goal line extended, so not a lot of angle, and she just caught Halpern right up high in the chest.
That will leave a mark. 6-2 for Team Marino. Score in this third quarter is 1-1. It's already a carryover quarter worth 40. Black, roll dodge, drawing a couple defenders. At the end of the shot clock, it's a violation against Team Kennedy. 4:40 left in this third quarter. Team Apuzzo and Team North in the nightcap of our doubleheader here at USA Lacrosse HQ. That one's scheduled to come your way 7:30 Eastern. Sam Apuzzo began this week on top of the leaderboard. Each of the last 2 seasons, Apuzzo has been the runner-up to Taylor Marino. O'Donnell, the last player to strike, feeds for Choma, who had 2 in the opening quarter. McCool's inverted back behind the cage. Kennedy picks her up. O'Donnell a long way from the cooker. Driving in, feeds for Choma. Shot clock's at 12. Sammy Jo Tracy curls. Dowdy's with her. McCool with 5 seconds to shoot. Outside the 8-meter key. Looking to the interior, that's deflected. It's a shot clock violation against Team Marino.
And that's a +4 for everyone in a blue jersey. Team Kennedy, a shot clock violation drawn. Again, great defensive effort for them. I just think Team Marino offensively, sometimes they are too relaxed in their offensive sets. They need to look to initiate a little bit sooner and faster.
9 turnovers so far for Team Marino. As Geiersbach directs traffic, she wants Kaylin Hart to bounce out and play this. Working against Megan Kinna. Halfway through the 60-second shot clock. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. That pass gets away from Spillis. Good backup, though, by Geiersbach. Sydney Black constantly drawing 2 defenders every time she gets the ball. Hart there, wedged away by Kinna. Nice catch here, snapshot score. A beautiful release to the top corner by Cassidy Spillis.
Those were some great defensive rotations by Team Marino, but the couple extra passes is what gave Team Kennedy in blue their 3rd goal of the match.
There are 40 points on the line for everybody on the roster when you win this third quarter. Team Kennedy has the advantage in it despite trailing overall in the game 6-3. Courtney and Kylie, a few moments ago, Sam Geiersbach had a shot that came through and struck Kendall Halpern. Have a peek.
As we take a look, Sam Geiersbach, I like that she was going for that 2-pointer. There was no defensive player between her shot and the goal circle, so that's why it's not deemed a red card, but nevertheless, that hurts.
And after speaking with Abby Jackson down here on the field, she's the director of sport for lacrosse as well as the officials. None of the officials saw the ball hit Kendall Halpern on the backside in real time. None of them saw it. so none of them blew their whistles. So the play played on. If, as the play played on, within 20 seconds, Team Marino had challenged that play for a yellow card, they could have gotten that call back.
Facilitator for Team Marino, Renee Dowd, chose not to, or did not feel that a challenge was required. We have seen one red card this summer in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. High-scoring rookie Ellie Macera was bounced from a game very early on.
So, Kylie, to be clear, they would have deemed that a red card, despite the fact that it wasn't between the shooter and the goalie.
Yes, any shot that hits a defensive player above the knee would be a red card if the referees saw it in real time and called it in real time, or if that happened like we just saw, they didn't see it, and the other team challenged it for that red card call. But they did not challenge it, so we play on.
On and on we go.
How unfortunate. I think at that point, just everyone in the orange jerseys, they just wanted to make sure that their teammate was okay at that point.
Mastriani on the go. Kick it back behind. Geyer's back. Turns to the interior on Burns. Sturdy defense again from the former Wolverine. Aldave floats this one into traffic, and it's picked off by Taylor Marino. Folks, be sure to follow AU Pro Sports on your favorite social media platforms. Stay up to date with all the great content featuring your favorite players, including highlights, mic'd ups, the hot seat, behind the scenes action, and more. Search at AU Pro Sports today. Team Marino in the orange, trailing in this third quarter, which is worth 40 points. Kennedy and Spillis bookending goals around an O'Donnell strike. McCool looking to level the count in the second, feeds it. O'Donnell turns, and she yanked that one too tall. On the end line, Choma closest to the ball, wearing when it leaves the field on a missed shot. Reload here for Izzy Skeen. Skeen was bothered on her way to the goal. That's deflected high. 10 seconds for Sammy Jo Tracy. Dowdy's been with Tracy most of the night. Sammy Jo darting back. O'Donnell off the pump fake. Nothing there on the hitch as the shot clock violation comes. Kennedy on the restart, showing her speed. Allie Kennedy, a freight train going to goal. Great trail check, though. Bothered all the way by McCool. End to end, back comes Knowles, who was the first defender taken in Monday's draft. Tracy, snap it off the skip. O'Donnell. Choma coming late. Bothered there at the 8-meter key, and back and forth we go in the final 35 seconds of what is a 40-point quarter. And right now, if Team Kennedy just sits on the ball, they win those 40.
Which this is one of my favorite rules of AU Pro Lacrosse. The fact that Team Marino, they are winning by a score of 6-3. But on the reverse, you have Allie Kennedy and the team in those blue jerseys. They would have won 2 of the quarters due to those points being pushed from quarter 2 to quarter 3. You just never know.
Each team that wins gets a plus 45. There's MVP voting as well, as Mastriani shoots through that screen wide of the goal. That'll do it at the end of the third quarter. So, indeed, it is Team Kennedy that picks up the 40 points, outscoring Team Marino 2-1 in the third frame. Folks, stay right there with us. We've got 10 minutes remaining in regulation time in this low-scoring affair at USA Lacrosse HQ. The DJ booth has them rocking in the stands here at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. We're on Valley Sports tonight. Team Kennedy just won a big third quarter. Libby Rogerson Swy, little chicken dance in advance of her nighttime work. She and her mates, Team Apuzzo against Team North. Plenty of star power to come at 7:30.
Amy Moreau just egging her on right there.
Sure. Of course. They break the huddles on their respective sidelines. First game of 3 this week. Team Marino, Taylor's squad gets Team North on Saturday, finishes up with Team Apuzzo on Sunday. What a difference it's been since the opening quarter for Team Marino from a shooting perspective, right? They canned 3 of their first 4 on Britt Reed. Since then, Team Marino is just 3 for 18.
Ooh, that's not a stat that you want.
Goals in the third quarter from Kennedy and Spillis for Team Kennedy, outscoring the Katie O'Donnell strike, and as a result, it's a 3-point game with 10 minutes to go in regulation. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, fueled by Gatorade on Valley Sports. Allie Kennedy will cruise to the offensive end, 6-on-6. At the end of play this week, there'll be 4 captains. The top of the leaderboard will have a draft on Monday, and 14 players on each side for the final week of season 4. You can see that draft on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, hosted by Kylie Ohlmiller and Maria Tribalpiece. Sydney Black trying to get underneath the defense of Halpern, no room. Geyersbach offers to Hart. Jitterbugs inside that 8-meter key. Score from outside it. 2 for your team, 16 for yourself. Geyersbach off a 4-goal game. She sent it wide. Sydney Black's there on the end line with 10 seconds to shoot. 1 minute into the fourth. Black held in check so far. Sydney turns a couple times. Here comes the double from Knowles. Mastriani not able to reel that in. Another shot clock violation against Team Kennedy. Katie O'Donnell's off and running, despite the mid-90-degree temperatures here on this Thursday night in Sparks, Maryland, about 20 minutes north of Baltimore. Sun starting to set. Shadows are lengthening here at USA Lacrosse HQ. There's an offside call, a player up coming here.
As Maddie Burns was coming off to sub, she's been playing a little bit of a defensive midfielder position, coming on and off the field for one of the midfielders for Team Marino. She stepped over the line and they were offsides.
Naughty, naughty. Player up here for Team Kennedy. Sydney Black ready to go to cage. Sydney with goals in 5 of her first 6 as a pro. Several of those highlight reel caliber. Aldave's a good feeder from back behind. Bring it out to Black. Player up ends. Back to 6-on-6. Aldave feeds. Geyersbach just shaved that one too fine. Missed it wide. Still 18 seconds to shoot for Andy Aldave. With Geyersbach tiptoeing around the goal circle. Hart. Black. Sydney keeps it in her cross. Stick check there by McCool. Shot clock violation again against the team in blue.
Go harass her. Go get it back.
Courtney and Kylie, as you can, when you're having offensive difficulties like Team Kennedy is, getting a shot triggered, where do you go? Where do you resort back to the basics?
You know, I think both of these defenses, it's not just the defense of Team Marino, but it's that of Team Kennedy as well. They're doing a good job of sending quick doubles. They're on the hands of one another as well. And so I just want to give kudos to the defense where Kylie can tell you what that offense can do differently.
Peterson fires, missed it there. On the end line, it'll stay Team Kennedy ball. And a clearing effort for Lizzie Colson.
Yeah, I think to your point, Courtney, all defenses up until this point, right, at week 3, they kind of have systems set. They know how to send slides. They know who to send slides to. I think on the offensive side, you want to make sure it goes through your big guns, but at the same time, as you know those slides are coming, you have to have movement on the backside. So if you watch this here, someone's going to go quickly to Allie Kennedy. We need movement for her to swing it through.
Allie spots Aldave. Aldave has her defender hung up. Knowles peeking out in that staring contest. Sydney Black explodes to the goal, bounced it over top of the cage. Wakefield kept it alive. Good hustle on the end line. And this belongs to Team Marino. Clearing effort for Knowles. We know you'd love to have the chance to win a lacrosse ball autographed by Izzy Skane as Kenna closes on the face dodge. Now you have that opportunity. Go to auprosports.com/sweepstakes to register today. Sammy Jo Tracy leaves it for Izzy Skane. This is Izzy's only game this week. She'll be missing Saturday and Sunday. She goes to goal, and she has the hat trick.
Courtney Taylor of Team Kennedy, she's done a good job of keeping Izzy Skane in check in that third quarter. Sammy Jo Tracy giving her a little flip. We're going to watch Courtney Taylor do that swipe, the reach. Going for those checks is exactly what number 27 wants you to do. Izzy Skane, her eyes are up. She acts like she's going to feed that ball, but that quick underneath move, that little face dodge, again, presenting her stick to the defense. They're going for the swipes. That's easy pickings for her.
I like what Sammy Jo Tracy did there. As she passed the ball off to Izzy Skane, she immediately got through, got out of the way for the team's dodger. She knows what Izzy Skane can do best, and that cut through to that lane allowed her to have that opening.
Skane shooting 3 for 9 in this game. Draw story is very close. Team Kennedy has a 7-6 lead inside the circle. Mastriani and Sammy Jo Tracy reconvene there. Only goal in the third quarter, or rather only goal in the fourth quarter belongs to Izzy Skane. It's a 7-3 advantage for Team Marino. Possession for Team Kennedy. Mastriani, to this point, handcuffed by the Team Marino defense, trying to get to the goal now. Aldave to Geyer's back, fidgets inside the 8-meter key, draws the double, they keep it hot. Mastriani fires and scores!
I think Team Kennedy heard Kylie when she's talking about how do you beat those quick doubles. You got to move the ball quickly. You got to show on the backside. This is going to be a 2-point goal for Ali Mastriani. And we saw the ball just working its way up. Her feet were pretty close to the line. Referees are always going to take a quick peep. But you see, as she caught the ball, she was already stepping down in the shooting motion. They're going to take another look because her foot is pretty close to that line.
Sure looked like she stepped on that line. We'll see. It'll be reviewed during this break. We'll get you back for more in quarter number 4. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is fueled by Gatorade. Lacrosse, the oldest team sport in North America, originating among the native communities, the villages and tribes, dating all the way back to the early 17th century. This is Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, a 7-4 advantage for Team Marino. We're level in the fourth. Courtney, as we were going to break, Ali Mastriani thought she may have had a 2-point goal. The officials say otherwise after this review.
As we see on this little zoom in, that toe, the big toe was right on the line. This is what deems it just a 1 goal as opposed to a 2-point goal. So very close. Nevertheless, though, it's just still 1-1 here in the fourth quarter. So it's anybody's game to come up with those 20 points.
Ali Mastriani was joking in the huddle during that timeout. She said, oh, every time, kind of laughing about it, she said, I think I might need smaller shoes.
There you go.
Very good point. A very good point.
But that could be painful, the smaller shoes.
I used to know a lot of hockey players who would wear their skates 2 sizes too small, Court.
It's a soccer thing, too.
Is it really?
Yes. I don't think I've heard of lacrosse players, but I get it with Ali Mastriani.
Ali would nix that. It would be very much uncomfortable. Geyer's back behind the cage. Shadowing her, it's Maddie Burns. Geyer's back, bounce shot. Ooh, well read again. Taylor Marino started strongly, and she continues to play exceptional between the pipes. 24 games now with double-figure stops. End to end, back comes Team Marino in the orange.
You know, I said it in the open, if she's doing hot in cage with those 10-plus saves, causing turnovers, which we've seen her do several times here tonight, you know, she's going to score well, but in order to overtake Sam Apuzzo, who's at the top, she was almost 100 points ahead of her. She has to get more quarter win points. And right now, they only have 1 quarter win point.
It was a 4-1 first frame. Isabella Peterson, strong left-hander. O'Donnell waiting at the 8-meter key. Team in orange has the 3-point lead with 3.5 to go. Kinna, defended by Kennedy, or that's McCool with a drive that's high, backed up on the end line there by Choma. She'll shovel it to the corner, shot clock violation against Team Marino. Now Team Kennedy has to get to work. Need to maximize their possessions here. Courtney Taylor brings it along. Taylor, who was the first defender taken in the Week 1 draft, second in Week 2. It was Emily Knowles who was the first defender selected this time around this past Monday. Sydney Black on the move. Black, one of the first rookies selected, along with Cassidy Weeks. We'll see Weeks in the nightcap. Black fires. Marino eats it up.
I like the zone action that we're seeing on the defensive end from Team Marino. Everybody kind of playing that certain area, but they are sending doubles quickly into certain zones, especially when particular players have that ball. And Team Kennedy in the blue jerseys just struggling to figure this out.
Lizzie Colson off the turnover, then she gave it right back to Caroline Wakefield. Each of those players picking up the +10 for the turnover. Then, unfortunately for Lizzie, a minus when you commit the turnover. In this quarter, the points are level. Mastriani for Team Kennedy, Skane for Team Apuzzo. This is a 20-point quarter after Team Kennedy took down 40. The carryover in the third. Methodical approach now for Sammy Jo Tracy. Her team in front with 1:50 left. Sammy Jo at the 8-meter key. Circle it up for McCool. Turned to the outside by Colson. McCool gets under and sent it wide, but it appeared as if she was fouled on her way to the cage. It'll stay Team Marino ball. Sammy Jo on the sprint. Goes over the shoulder, sent it wide. Peterson got flattened as Team Kennedy wants control of the ball, but the officials seem to award this one to the team in orange. After a discussion, they'll give it to Team Kennedy in blue. 70 seconds left, and the deficit is 3. Sydney Black, goal line extended, drifts below that, defended by Halpern. Allie Kennedy peeking over the top of the defense. Allie's team will play against Team Apuzzo on Saturday. Team Marino gets Team North. Apuzzo and North coming up later tonight. 7:30 Eastern here on Valley Sports. Black off the hitch. Sydney holding that cross high. Mastriani, that time for 2. Whistle one around the frame of the goal. 30 seconds left. Geyer's back, pressured on the perimeter there by Knowles. Off this restart, shot clock's turned off. Geyer's back, angles in, the feed to Kennedy. She scores! No quit yet in Allie Kennedy.
Team Kennedy, their second goal of the fourth quarter. Geiersbeck bringing this ball in from out of bounds. This doesn't happen if she's not starting the initiation for the Dodge. Defensively, all eyes are kind of on her. Leaves an open lane and space for Kennedy to cut.
Kennedy was kind of dragging her defender away from Sam Geiersbeck to that top far corner outside the 8 there. A little bit of deception on her off-ball movement, and really nice of Sam Geiersbeck to pick the ball up off the end line and get right into it.
4 different 2-goal games this summer for Allie Kennedy. Her team has to get this draw now with just 19.7 to go. They need a 2-pointer to tie. Team Kennedy leads the fourth quarter scoring 2-1. This is as tight as we've been since it was a 2-0 advantage for Team Marino on a Casey Choma goal back in the first. Sammy Jo Tracy, it's pounded down. Mastriani comes away with it, and immediately a timeout is called for by Team Kennedy facilitator Catherine Conway.
You know, fans wondering why call a timeout. Potentially they could have pushed a transition game, but they want to make sure to set everything up well. Get their personnel, not waste any time having to exchange draw sticks, because those are a little bit different than what you shoot with. So I like the timeout from the facilitator for Team Kennedy. It looks like that was planned, and now they're going to be all on the same page.
Team Kennedy has won each of the last 4 draws. Folks, Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball action continues Friday. Team Lorenz against Team McQuillan at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, followed by Team Kilfoyle and Team Wallace at 7:30 Eastern. Check out where you can watch on the website auprosoftball.com. Week 2 featuring 4 first-time captains in softball. Lexi Kilfoyle was extremely strong on the mound last week, a couple of complete games. As we set up for a dramatic last 16 seconds, 7-5 for Team Marino. Courtney, I'll let you go first. What's happening here in each respective huddle?
You know, obviously defensively, Team Marino wants to come up with a big stop, but they want to transition as quickly as possible. I would expect for a timeout to come from them if they're able to come up with a stop. But Team Kennedy, they have to work on that cutting game. I think they've been super successful at that.
Yeah, I think overhearing some of the huddle and looking at some of their hand gestures over here, I think they're going to try to go for a 2-pointer to tie this up. I don't see why not. You already have the win on the quarter unless something goes completely awry in the last 16 seconds. But what it looked like was either an Ali Mastriani from up top or a Sam Geiersbeck or Sydney Black from down low, looking for something to happen outside of that 2-point arc.
So if they're going to go for that 2-pointer, I'd like to think that they would hold on to it a little bit longer as opposed to taking a shot earlier. That way Team Marino can't have the possible counterattack.
Going to have to move it a little bit quickly just because there is already 12 seconds left, but we'll see where the slide comes from.
Allie Kennedy driving in. Kennedy veers to the outside. Hart for Geiersbeck. Spin it. There's 4 seconds left. Interior score! Mastriani makes it a 1-point game with just 3.1 to go.
Mastriani, with the speed of her cuts, the timing just right. The ball moved entirely around the perimeter almost, and Mastriani just waiting for it to hit the stick of Aldave, and she was backdoor cutting. O'Donnell just a step behind. Pinpoint perfect play.
Perfect play there, and I really like the fact that, yes, they might have been looking for the 2-point goal, but they still went for the 1-point goal. I think a lot of times when you go in with a game plan and you only look for that game plan, you might not find it. So for them to capitalize on a different opportunity is huge.
Mastriani digging in at the draw circle with Sammy Jo Tracy. Has to have it and has to fire from deep. There's only 3.1 seconds left. Ball control, draw control for Sammy Jo Tracy, and Team Marino gets out of here with a 7-6 win. The fourth quarter goes to Team Kennedy as they score each of the last 3 goals, but come up 1 shy as the leaderboard continues to change.
You know, here's what's so interesting. Kennedy earning 3 out of the 4 quarter points. That's 60 points overall for their team. Taylor Marino, 20 points in the first quarter, 45 for the win. That's just a 5-point difference for the winners of the game. But love how Team Kennedy battled back. They were down 5-1 at the end of that second quarter, never given up.
Smiling for their photo opportunity. First time together, this Team Marino drafted back on Monday. It's the first of 3 games in 4 days. The teams burned their way through an extremely hot day on the turf. Temperatures in the mid-90s, and scorching hot in goal was Taylor Marino as she helps her squad to a 7-6 win over Team Kennedy.
Caroline, doing a couple of great things out there on the defensive end. What was the defensive strategy from Captain Taylor Marino heading into this matchup?
I think the biggest thing was communication. We wanted to stay on the same page. They have a lot of midfielder threats, so we just wanted to make sure we matched up and we were ready to slide on that. So,
how do you defend transition from someone like Allie Kennedy pushing the ball up the field?
Cross your fingers and hope it goes in your way. But honestly, listening to Taylor's voice, she kind of lets you know when she wants that slide to go up. But she's a bull in a china shop, so getting on hands is going to be huge.
Yep, awesome. Good luck the rest of the way. Thank you so much.
Caroline's been with Team Marino 6 of the last 7 weeks. Taylor Marino knows she can trust in 23 in the orange. Leaderboard-wise, Marino vaulting to the top spot. Sam Apuzzo wearing white and gold this week. Will be playing in the nightcap. As you see, Allie Kennedy's numbers, court resting in 3rd as a result of the game today. Folks, Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse continues tonight at 7:30 Eastern. Team Apuzzo squaring off with Team North, and that's right here on Valley Sports. For Courtney, for Kylie, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thank you so much for watching. This one looked like it was going to be a breeze for Team Marino. Anything but they hang on for a 7-6 thriller at USA Lacrosse HQ. Smile!